Good evening. I am Brinta Brahma and I am a final year student of Jadavpur University in the Department of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering. Me and Pravath have worked on the project modeling prototypes for text search engines. This was a part of our winter internship at IIT Kharagpur this last year. So we are going to present about the same. Introduction. Now here we can see the architecture of a text search engine. We can see the data gatherer, HTML parser, PDF parser, word parser, the work of analyzer, file system, database, index, query parser, fuzzy query processors. Means how these all are interconnected and how do we get the results of our text search engines, that we are going to go through in details. In this diagram, we can see how the search driven text search engines benefit us in the real world. So what was the aim of our project? The aim of our project was to build a prototype of a text search engine which will work on millions of Wikipedia pages which are in XML format and retrieves the top 10 relevant Wikipedia documents that matches the input query. This takes Wikipedia corpus in XML format which is available at wikipedia.org as input. Then it indices millions of Wikipedia pages involving a comparable number of distinct terms. Then, given a query, it retrieves relevant ranked documents and their titles using index. So, what is exact value as well as full value search? So, there are two types of search: exact value search and full text search. So, exact value search, here the capital F00 is not same as small f00. Here the decision is basically binary. The value either matches a query or not in an exact value search. But in a full text search, in text retrieval, full text search refers to the techniques for searching a single computer stored document or a collection in a full text database. In a full text search, a search engine examines all the words in every stored document. Answers are not binary in full text search. Now let's discuss about analysis and analyzers. What basically is an analyzer? An analyzer is a component of a text search engine responsible for processing text in query strings and indexed documents. Different analyzers manipulate text in different ways depending on the scenario. So here we can see about inverted index. What basically is inverted index? Inverted index allows fast full text searches at a cost of increased processing when a document is added to the database. It is easy to develop. It is the most popular data structure. So it contains all the unique words that appear in any document. So here we can see in the flowchart we have the input in XML format. Now we need to understand this XML file where content is present. Now we will go through the content and do the pre-processing. The pre-processing means we'll be converting those into tokens and then we'll do the process like tokenization, case folding, stemming and so on. So after the pre-processing, the entire text is converted into tokens. That is the first step. Now we are going to save all these words in a tabular form and for every word we maintain a list of pages in which it occurs. So here we can see the example. Let us consider two documents. Document 1. This is a text search engine. So we can convert it. We are converting this into tokens. We can see here in the flowchart. So which tokens are contained in document 1? They are given a tick and which are absent is given a cross. So in this way we have seen two documents how they are being splitted up into tokens. For millions of documents, if we maintain inverted indexing, we will go for multi-level indexing. So we will be directing the search accordingly. So what is exactly text pre-processing? Text pre-processing is not a simple thing. It is a multiple steps. So the first step is tokenization. What tokenization is the basic step of a text pre-processing. It is the process of converting the input data in form of tokens. So there are two types of tokenizer, white space tokenizer as well as pen tree branch tokenizer. We are going to see more about details in the next upcoming slides. So now I'm just telling it in gist. White space tokenizer, it breaks texts into terms whenever it encounters a white space character. Pen tree bank tokenizers. Basically, pen tree bank tokenizer was designed to overcome the limitations of white space tokenizer. This tokenizer splits the common English contractions, that is, that don't and do and n apostrophe t. They are separate things. It handles punctuation characters as separate tokens. It splits commas and single quotes off from words when they are followed by a white space. It splits off the periods that occur at the end of a sentence. So the next step is sentence segmentation. What exactly is sentence segmentation? It is the process of determining the longer processing units consisting of one or more words. This task involves identifying sentence boundaries between words in a different sentence. A sentence segmentation algorithm's performance is usually reported in terms of a single score equal to the number of punctuation marks correctly classified by total number of punctuation marks. Case folding. This is a very important step in text pre-processing. What exactly is case folding? We need to converge words having same root meaning. That is the basically case folding. We are seeing more details about case folding in the upcoming slides. Removing stop words. Like we can see this is, a and d. These words are not so important in search. Stemming. What is stemming? Stemming is obtaining a root word from a given word. So there are three stemming algorithms: Porter stemming algorithm, Lancaster stemming algorithm, WordNet lematizer. What tokenization? White space tokenizer. Here we can see a sentence is written. Dr. Sirikant Verma still has possession of his ill-gotten goods, his brother's assets and liabilities. If we tokenize based on all characters other than the alphabets, that is, so here we can see we are getting total 17 tokens we got because of those hyphen, those are taken as extra, as well as those apostrophe. By considering these two, we are getting 17 extra tokens. Issues in tokenization. Issues means exactly we are facing, like you here we can see the example space. Is it consider it as a single token or two? Like u dot s dot a, is it, can we take it as a single token, that is USA, or multiple tokens that u dot separately, s separately, as well as we are also facing issues related to the special characters. So pen tree bank tokenization. We had already told in gist about pen tree bank tokenization in the previous slide. We have right now gone through that. It is basically which splits common English contractions and it handles punctuation characters or special tokens separately. So it is a standard released by Linguistic Data Consortium. It separates out clitics. Here we can see doesn't and does and n apostrophe t. Those are different. Can't. CA and n apostrophe t. Those are different. It keeps hyphenated words together and it separates out the punctuations. Here we can go through the examples. Like total by going through the sentence, it has divided all the punctuation marks and apostrophes separately, and total we got 28 tokens. So case folding. What exactly case folding? Now we are going through that in detail. It is a super easy operation and the purpose is to normalize words into the form. Like we are seeing here, like capital JADAVPUR, capital Jadavpur and small Jadavpur case, means uppercase and lowercase, they are same. Capital US and small US, us, that is us, they are same. Like here we are seeing an example, while searching for fox, user has typed FOX. Suppose user can type in uppercase or lowercase, that we don't know, that depends upon the user, but by the process of case folding it will mean the same thing. Java code to implement white space tokenization. Yeah, the entire thing we have implemented in Java. Why we have chose Java in the project? It is because that Java is object oriented and it was known to us, honestly speaking. So we have done the implemented using the same. So in tokenization using OpenNLP, NLP package contains the classes and interfaces that are used to perform tokenization. So to tokenize the given sentences into simpler fragments, the OpenNLP library provides us this class. What is white space tokenizer? We already spoke about it. To tokenize a sentence using white space tokenizer, what we need? We need to create an object of a class. An object is an instance of a class in Java or in any object-oriented programming, and we need to tokenize the sentence using the tokenize method. So, and we need to, final step is to print the tokens. The following are the steps to be followed to write a program which tokenizes the given raw text. Step 1. Instantiating the respective class. In both the classes, there are no constructors available to instantiate them. Therefore, we need to create objects of this class using a static variable instance. Step 2, we need to tokenize the sentences. Both these classes contain a method called tokenize. This method accepts a raw text in string format. On invoking, it tokenizes the given string and returns an array of string in tokens. Here we can right now see in the code. After the tokenizing, we will need to print the tokens, like we have inputted the string and then separate we need to print the tokens. So here we are able to see the code has been implemented and everything, we got the output and we can see the compile output. Here we can also see the tokens individually. We have gave the input sentence and how we are able to see the tokens. Now we are going to talk about Java code to implement case folding on a given sentence. Lowercase. The conversion of a string to lowercase is similar to uppercase. Like we also have into upper to lowercase, we also have it in C, Python. Like for person we don't know, but we have to consider all the cases where the person is going to enter in a lowercase or the person is going to enter in a uppercase. The small letters will be converted to capital letters, or the capital letters will be converted to small letters. So we are able to see that code implementation has been given over here. We will be using length and character int methods of the string class. The length method returns the number of characters that the string contains. The character at method takes an integer argument and returns the character contained at that integer index. A character class contains a number of static methods that can be used to test whether a character is in uppercase or lowercase, and also to convert between the two. XML. Now we are going to talk about XML and about its use in pre-processing, text pre-processing. XML tags. We know XML stands for Extensible Markup Language. XML allows us to create our own self-descriptive tags or languages that suits our application. XML carries data that does not present in it. XML is basically similar to HTML, which we have learned already previously in our lower classes. Sample XML template. We can see here a tag is there. It has an opening tag and a closing tag. Some tags are there which don't have a closing. It is depends on the rules of the XML, which we already know. Now we are going to talk about DOM parser to read XML file in Java. So what is DOM? Document Object Model. API, Advanced Peripheral Interface for XML approach, is a memory intensive compared to the SAX parser. If XML content is large, it is recommended to use the SAX parser approach. Typically, when we need to modify the XML documents, DOM parser will be very advantageous. We are able to see the DOM parser listed below. We can see that in the previous next slide. We can also read the XML file and create a document object in memory. Then we iterate through the tree and extract the required elements and attributes. What exactly is SAX parser? SAX, the simple API for XML, is an event-based parser for XML documents. SAX will parse the document, and depending on the token, it will call out the methods in the handler. What SAX does, it reads an XML document from top to bottom, recognizing the tokens that make up a well-formed XML document. Tokens are processed in the same order that they appear in the document. Application program provides an event handler that must be registered with the parser. Content handler interface. This is a part of a SAX parser. So here we can see the different interfaces which are present. Like we can see here void start document. It is called at the beginning of a document. Void end document called at the end. Void start element. String URI, string local name, string queue name, string attributes called at the beginning of an element. Void end element, similarly it is called at the end of an element. Void characters call when a character data is encountered. Why SAX parser? Why need we go for SAX parser? We have other parsers also which bring the entire XML document down into the memory and then parse it and create a constructive parse tree. SAX parser reads XML documents stream wise, that is byte by byte. 1 byte is equivalent to 8 bits. So this is much more efficient as well as error free. So here we are able to see the SAX parser example. Here the XML code is written. Like we can see here, we are XML version 1 encoding UTF-8, and then we have a object class and everything has been done. So we have a XML file stored somewhere in the file system, and by looking at it we can conclude that it contains a list of employees. Every employee has an ID attribute and field is age, name, gender, role. Here the class is employee. Similarly we do in ops, similar that thing is done over here also we have implemented. So these are the implementations we have done in Java. So from high level design to rest will be carried on by my partner Provat. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.